Hi, it's Ingrid. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's time for my favorite video of the month, my TBR. It's time for the TBR jar to pick my May TBR. The year is going by way too fast and I don't know how to feel about it. It's scary. I'm almost done with my second year of university, which means I have 1 year left. And then it's time to live my life and it's terrifying. But let's not worry about that right now. We're gonna pick out my TBR. I think I want to do at least 8, possibly 10. I'm done with all of my classes for the year. I have 2 exams that goes over 2 weeks, so after that I'm done, so I will have a lot of time to read. And I'm feeling really good about reading this month. April has been good. Right now I have 2 books left on my TBR that I picked out for April. One of them I'm planning on reading this week. There's still like a week left of April, so I have time. I'm gonna put Caraval back on my TBR because I know I'm not gonna be able to read that. The last book, I will be reading that. So the Atlas 6 is the only one I have left. We'll be reading that soon. But now let's pick out my May TBR. I have, as always, a bunch of prompts in here. I have my TBR here. Most of these are TBR, all the ones down there that I'm probably not gonna choose from. And then I have the series over there. So let's just get started. Prompt number 1. Still, as always, I'm not going to be able to show you because it will never focus on the writing. A book with people on the cover. As always, I'm going to try and then I'll be frustrated for the rest of the video because it isn't working. You can see it a little bit, but a book with people on the cover. I could do Done and Dusted. That has people on the cover. I'm assuming that a lot of the romances, I know this one does. It's got a sticker over, but like that's an option. There is more, but like these are the ones I'm thinking. Done and Dusted by Lala Sage, Our House by Louise Candlish, or Whiskey Business by Elliot Fletcher. I think I'm really feeling the cowboy romance. I want to read this. I also bought the sequel that just came out. I'm just gonna look over. Oh, I should do that one though. I want to read Bridgerton 3 and 4 before season 3 comes out because I think that's supposed to follow book number 4. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that, so I don't know, maybe I should put this on my TBR. Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually. I'm choosing Bridgerton, An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn. Loved the last one, so I'm excited to see how I feel about this. It's time for prompt number 2. Oh my god, they're falling. I have one and it says read the damn book. It's over there. I want to read it. I don't know why I keep putting it off. I know a little bit of why, but it's just I wrote this prompt down with Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo in mind. I've been putting that one off for so long. I finished King of Scars last year, early last year I think, and I've just kept putting Rule of Wolves off. I don't want the series to end. I'm not ready for it. I'm scared with everything that happened in the last book. Like, I want to go get the book because obviously it's on my TBR now and it's time to read it. I have it here. The second book in the King of Scars trilogy, the last book in the Grishaverse. It's so long, which it scares me because it's going to take so long to get through. It's actually not going to take long to get through. But I'm happy about it because it's the last book in the series and I'm not ready for it to end. It's on my TBR. I'm very excited though. I'm not ready for it to end. I love the Grishaverse so much. And like everything that happened in the last. I need to stop thinking about that. I have 2 books on my TBR now and we're just gonna move on to the third one. I didn't tell you what any of them were about. I'm really bad at this. Bridgerton is like a Regency era series about the Bridgerton family who basically just goes to balls and try to get married, and you follow them doing that. First book was Daphne and Simon. Second book was Anthony and Kate. This one is Benedict, I think. Yes. Oh, I remember reading this. The back of it in my haul. This is giving Cinderella. It says Sophie Beckett never dreamt she would sneak into Lady Bridgerton's famed masquerade ball, or that Prince Charming would be waiting there for her. Though the daughter of an earl, Sophie had been relegated to the role of servant by her disdainful stepmother. But that night, spinning in the strong arms of the debonair and devastatingly handsome Benedict Bridgerton, she felt like royalty, yet she knows all enchantments must end. But Sophie has reckoned without Benedict's determined heart. He has sworn to find and wed his mystery miss, for he knows this is his only chance for a fairy tale love. I'm so excited. I watch Cinderella every single year on Christmas Eve. They show it every year, and I love it just as much, so I'm very excited for this. And then Rule of Wolves, I'm not going to read the back of it. I want to, but I don't. This book, well, this series, I don't know exactly what this book is, but King of Scars is basically about Nikolai Lantsov. We meet him in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. This book follows him, Soya, and Nina. In the first book, King of Scars, Nina had her own story, and then Nikolai and Soya did another thing. I don't know how it's going to go in this one, or exactly what they're going to do. It's just started pouring down rain. I've never read the back of this book, I don't think. But I wanted to make sure there were no spoilers, but I'm gonna read it to you. Up here, it says we're all monsters now. The wolves are circling and Ravka's time is running out. Then it says, the Demon King. As Furious army prepares to invade, Nikolai Lantsov must summon every bit of his ingenuity and charm, and even the monster within, to win this fight. The Storm Witch. Soya Nasyalensky has lost too much to war. Now, duty demands she embraces her powers to become the weapon her country needs, no matter the cost. I can't speak. No matter the cost. The Queen of Mourning. Nina Zenaik risks discovery and death as she wages war on Fjorda from inside its capital. But her desire for revenge may cost her country its chance at freedom and Nina the chance to heal. King, General, Spy. Together they must find a way to forge a future in the darkness, or watch a nation fall. I don't know how I'm going to be able to think about anything else than this book. And I had 2 reading vlogs planned for the beginning of the month. I might have to scrap that to just start on this one. I don't want to think about it. I'm just going to move on, and I'm going to pick book number 3. I'm going to do the one that fell out. A book with pink on the cover. Whiskey Business is pink. Night Shift is pink. My Mechanical Romance is pink. Happily Never After is technically pink. It's a very light shade of pink, but it's pink. No, I will know what I want to do. Flawless by Elsie Silver. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I didn't end up picking it up last year. I don't know why. I just kept putting it off. I think I was in the middle of too many series, so I was just scared. And then by the end of the year, I didn't want to read it because I want to read it during summer. But now that I'm basically on summer break, the weather is starting to get nice. Right now it's pouring down rain. But when it isn't, it's sunny and it's just summery feelings, and that's exactly what I want with this book. This is the first book in the Chestnut Spring series. This is a cowboy romance, small town romance. I don't know their names. What's his name? It doesn't say his name. But the main male character is a bull rider who basically gets in trouble with his agent because he said some things publicly. So his agent gets his daughter to kind of like babysit him, and then things happen from there. I'm so excited for this book, so I'm gonna put that on my TBR. Number 4, I need to tell you the number every time because I'm gonna forget. Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge. I've never watched Gilmore Girls, but I think the idea of doing this is fun. So I'm gonna Google the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge and see if I can find a book that I own. I found one list challenges, the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge. Over the course of 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls, Rory Gilmore was seen reading 339 books on screen. How many have you read? I'm obviously not going to read them all. 1984, I own that one, but I'm not going to read that. Is there anything else I own? I feel like this isn't really my thing, you know. I'm just going to come back when I find a book I own. So I actually found a few that I own. Some of them I've already read, so obviously not going to choose those. But I have 6 books on my TBR, so I'm just going to go through those and then we're going to decide. Emma by Jane Austen. I don't know if I'm ready to read this yet, but I do want to read it because I just want to display it on my shelf because it's beautiful. Like, look at that, it's gorgeous. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I don't think I'm going to choose this one because it reminds me of December, so I'm probably going to read it around that time. Macbeth by William Shakespeare. I read Henry V in April and I really enjoyed that, so I want to read more of his plays. Also I have Hamlet by Shakespeare. The Wizard of Oz. I don't know if I want to read this yet. I think it would be fun, but like, I don't know. It's very short though, so it's a quick read. Like, I don't know if it's for now. And then I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'm not gonna choose this one, I think. It's in Norwegian, the rest of my books are English, and my mom owned it, so I asked to get it and she said yes, and I'm not ready for that. I'm gonna do either The Wizard of Oz or Macbeth. I really enjoyed reading Shakespeare's plays while listening to the audiobook, so I want to do that with this one as well. So I think I'm going to choose Macbeth. I don't know exactly what it's about, but it says on the back, Shakespeare's Macbeth is one of the greatest tragic dramas the world has known. Macbeth himself, a brave warrior, is fatally impelled by supernatural forces, by his proud wife and by his own burgeoning ambitions. As he embarks on his murderous course to gain and retain the crown of Scotland, we see the appalling emotional and psychological effects on both Lady Macbeth and himself. The cruel ironies of her destiny are conveyed in poetry of unsurpassed power. In the theatre, this tragedy remains perennially engrossing. I think I want to do this one. I really want to get through Shakespeare's plays, and I won't let myself buy more until I finish the ones I have. So I think it's a good choice for this month. That was book number 4, so we're gonna choose book number 5. Reread a book. Okay. I don't think... I want to reread Shadow and Bone, but I don't know if I want to do that now. Actually, I'm gonna put that on hold because I just don't know which one to choose yet. I need to see what my other options are before picking that one. I don't know if that's cheating or not. I don't know, like, there's no books that I'm ready to reread unless it's Shadow and Bone, but like, I don't know if I want to do that yet. And then I could do A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because I DNF'd that. Was it 2023? January 2023? I don't know. Or the year before. It's been a while. I wanted to reread that one because I don't think I DNF'd it because it was bad. I think it was because I was in a really bad slump. So I want to give it a second try. But I also have a prompt. I don't know if I've done it yet or not. That is reread a DNF, and there's no other DNF I want to reread, so. But I really do want to reread that one. Am I ready for this? I ended it on 186. I'm not, actually. I'm gonna go get Shadow and Bone. I really want to reread this whole series eventually, so I'm gonna do a reread of Shadow and Bone this month. I keep forgetting. But this is the first book in the Grishaverse, the first book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, following Alina and Mal, unfortunately. But Alina is basically... Is that a spoiler? Basically, in Ravka, which is where we are in this book, we follow the soldiers. There is the first army and the second army. There's basically the Grisha, which is... Technically there's magic. They don't call it magic, they're masters of the small science. There's like different types of them. Someone can like heal people and stop their hearts. Some people can control like wind and all of that. And then some are summoners. So basically there's this big fold. There's just a big fence of darkness kind of splitting East Ravka from West Ravka. and it's just everyone that gets in there gets attacked, and they need to push through it because they want to save Revka. So General Kirigan basically takes Alina to help him. Things happen. I don't know what to say without spoiling, but he wants Alina to help, and she tries to help, and things happen, and I love this. Number 6. I hope this is a good one. Last book by an author on my shelf. I don't even know. So I think this means that I need to only own 1 unread books by this author. So my options for this is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I could do The Crimes of Grindelwald by J.K. Rowling. The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. Like, obviously most of these I think I'm gonna do. I should think like strategically. I'm filming a video and I need this book for it. Oh, I'm gonna try to not make everything fall off. But does that count though? If it's gonna be the last book of an author, this is the first, only, and last book I own. I don't care. We're choosing The Deadly Education. Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I'm filming a video with that this month, so it's good to put it on the TBR. I don't know too much about this. I know it's a dark academia. It's a school of magic. It says, enter a school of magic unlike any you have ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only 2 ways out. You graduate or you die. I'm not gonna read more. But this is just a short little fantasy. A dark academia. I want to do a dark academia video, reading that for the first time. So it's good to put this one on there. That was book number 6. I cannot keep up with the numbers. One fell out. Where did it go? This thing is too full, so it's hard to put them out. Starring one of my favorites. So I need to do one that's been adapted to TV. Blue Shadow and Bone. Are any of these TV adaptations? This is a stupid prompt. Why did I do that? None of those up there. Please find something else. I don't want to read The Essex Serpent, but The Essex Serpent is a really good show, starring Tom Hiddleston and Claire Danes. You should watch it. I love it. Am I ready to read the book? I don't know. I have Dune. Oscar Isaac is in that, but I don't want to read Dune. This is hard. Oh, never mind. It's not that hard. It's actually the easiest thing I could ever do. Blood of Elves, first novel in the Witcher series. I've read the collections of short stories, The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny. This is about Geralt of Rivia. He's a witcher, basically a monster slayer. He kills monsters. And then things happen with Ciri and Yennefer and Jaskier, and they just do things together, trying to save their lives, save their countries. There's a war going on. Don't want to say too much, but this is starring Henry Cavill. Henry plays Geralt in The Witcher on Netflix. I love Henry Cavill. Most attractive man on the planet. So I need to read the books. I love the show. Still haven't seen season 2, season 3, because I want to read the books first. So it's about time I read this. I'm very excited. I've only read like the short story collections, so I've never read like a full book with the Witcher stories, but I do love the characters, so I'm very excited. I have no memory. I have to count the books in between every time. And now I forgot. I have 7. This is number 8. This one's in blue writing. A book from my childhood. No! None of those, obviously. I could cheat. I know a loophole is what I would call it. Because technically, I would say Poirot. It's not a book from my childhood, but I did watch this show as a child. Or else, I think when I wrote it down, I was planning to do like either the Bopsy Kids or the Clue series. Because what else could I possibly do? I could do like the One Direction biography. But I don't know. The bad thing though, the Clue series was my favorite series. As a child, I was obsessed with it. I would get a new book from my grandma every single year as they were released. But I lent the first one out to a child that my aunt was fostering and never got it back. The kid moved away years ago. Never got the book back, so I can't read it, and I don't want to start on the second book. So I need to see if it's like available. If it's on Storytel, I can read it, because they have some ebooks, but I doubt it's on there. If I could type, that would be great. No, of course it's not on there. What about the author? There he is. No, he has only 2 books on there. How expensive are they to buy on Apple Books? I don't want to buy it as an ebook though. That's a lot of money. But I do really want to read it though. This book that I'm thinking of, it's called Salamanderbåten. I don't know if it has an English name. But it's written by an author who's a former detective. And he writes detective stories. This one is a YA mystery thriller about a group of kids solving crimes at a hotel. One of the main characters' dad owns the hotel, and then her best friend's mother, I think, works there, and then her other best friend lives pretty close, so they're spending like a lot of their time at the hotel, and then one day a dead body washes up on the beach in front of the hotel, and they start investigating. My camera battery is flashing. Fuck off, honestly. I could do that, or I could do Boxy Kid's book. I have that one though. Wait. It's a book by Chris Columbus. I don't know what it's called in English. I have it in Norwegian. This is a struggle, honestly. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna do this book. Here's the cover. I don't have it anymore, like I said. Never got it back. But I'm gonna put that on my TBR. And I'm just gonna have to buy it, and then hopefully I'll read it. But that was book number 8. I'm gonna do 10, because why not? So I'm hoping to do 2 more before the camera dies. But this one says, ends on an even number. What book do I want to read? I'm gonna pick out whatever I want to read, and then we're gonna check the number. No. I want to read. I want to do 9,000. Maybe I don't want to do that. But I'm planning on putting that in my video, so I should. It ends on 458, but that's the acknowledgements. What about the actual book? Technically, no, but I'm counting the acknowledgements. I'm reading it, so I'm counting it. I could cheat. But what is that? The actual book ends on 450, so that didn't really help me much. What about The Final Gambit? The last book in the Inheritance Games trilogy ends on the acknowledgements, and the book ends on... Wait, what did I do? Oh, it's supposed to end on an even number. That means I can do it. 9,000 will also be read in that video, so I'm putting that one. I don't know much about it. I know it's by Leigh Bardugo. There's 3 books by Leigh Bardugo on my TBR this month. I can't do more than 8. They're not going to fit on my reading journal. That's annoying. But this one is... Technically is kind of a fantasy thing. I think it's more like magical realism. It's set in like a normal world. At Yale, I think. It's like a secret society. It's a dark academia. I don't know exactly. Galaxy Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class, a dropout and the sole survivor of a horrific unsolved crime. Alex was hoping for a fresh start, but her free ride comes with a catch. She has been tasked with monitoring Yale's secret societies, notorious haunts of the rich and powerful. Now there's a dead girl on campus, and Alex is the only person willing to look deeper, because the societies are far more sinister and extraordinary than anyone ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. Wow. I didn't know Alex was a girl. But I'm putting this on my TBR. Technically I have 9 books on my TBR. I wanted to do 10, so I'm going to do 10, even though it can't fit on the thing I made in my reading journal, which is stupid, because I wasn't expecting to put that many on my TBR. This is the last one. A book with green on the cover. This one's great. I'm very sorry, but the rest will be filmed on my phone because my camera just died. So I think this is gonna be like the wrong way, I don't know. The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the last book in the Inheritance Games trilogy. I could do this one because I would like to finish that series so I can read the naturals. But I also have Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I would like to read that, it's a new release. But I think I'm gonna put this on. It's last in the series and I will be finishing that one. And also the spin-off series about the Hawthorne brothers. I want to buy that, but I didn't let myself buy it until I finished this. And I read the second book in April, so it's just fitting that I read the next one in May. Because I don't want to keep pushing series further away, because I'm going to forget what happens and I don't want that. So I'm putting this as book number 10. Should we do an overview of all of the books I chose? I honestly don't want to, but maybe I should. I feel like that's what everyone does. So unfortunately, I will be doing it in the opposite order right now because that's how they're laying on the floor. The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, Blood of Elves, I don't know what to say his name, A Deadly Education, Naomi Novik, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, this is a reread, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Flawless by Elsie Silver, I am so excited, Rule of Wolves, also by Leigh Bardugo, the last book in the Grishaverse. I need to read this before I start my reread. An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, and Salamandergåten by Jørn Lier Horst. That's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I think it's so fun to do this and I'm excited to read. I feel very proud of myself that I picked out 2 books that are in a video I'm planning on filming. So it just makes everything easier for me. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, lovers.